It's so good to see you all here tonight, and I wanted to first say thank you for coming, and then also to let you know who's on stage. So right now we have the basstronaut, B.T. Richardson on bass, and Daruba on drums. Toni Blackman was one of the first people to read at It's Your Mug on the first night, February 1st, 1994. Brandon Johnson came right soon after that. Holly Bass came that summer and stayed ever since. She was going to stay in New York, but we won her over. And look at there in the Pittsburgh Steelers gear. That would be DJ Renegade, now known as Joel Diaz Porter, like he was born to. And then, of course, Ernesto Mercer, who technically was not a member of the modern Urban Griots, but we just say technically because whenever we needed him to pinch hit, he was always there for us. And I'm your homegirl. I'm Toni Asante Lightfoot. Twain Dooley? Yes, he's here. Yeah. I'm sorry, Twain Dooley just arrived. That's another homeboy for you. Came in from Baltimore. So yeah, 20 years ago, we arrived, we hung out, and even in the summertime when buses would be coming down the road and we had all the windows open because it would get really, really hot when you get 60 people packed into a place meant for 20. And all these poets came out of it. We also had a workshop. We also had drive-bys. We had all kinds of wonderful institutions that we'd done. And then those people that were there went on to teach and perform and do all kinds of great things with students and the elderly and in the writing world. So that's why we're honoring tonight, because we were able to do so much with this little thing called poetry. And so I'm going to start us off a little bit, because a lot of people didn't even know that I was a poet. They just thought I hosted. And I was really proud of myself actually saying my own name, because I never did that either. And so I used to perform a lot with these brothers, and so we're going to start off a little something. And then we're going to go to Brandon and Toni and Nesto. And then we're going to do Twain after Nesto. And then, of course, Holly Bass and Renegade. And then we'll hang out together for a bit. So I started a poetry reading actually at Soul Brothers Pizza. And this brother here used to have very long dreadlocks. And he would play his bass and made me think impure thoughts. And although I'm a frustrated jazz singer, which is why I did poetry, I did come up with this piece. Play me, play me, play me. Won't you play me like your bass? Play me, daddy. Oh, won't you play me, daddy? Won't you play me, daddy, like your bass? Now you see, I don't care if you pluck me with your fingers or if you drag me with your bow. Just do it till you make me moan from my hollows. I need you to play me. Not like any old bass. I want you to play me like I was your bass. I want you to reminisce and bring back the fingers of Mingus. I want us to have a whole freedom suite. I want us to be something that ain't never been, because I want you, Daddy. I want you to play me. Now, I know the young people don't like to get played, but Lord knows if they saw what your fingers do, they would want to. So I'm just saying, play me, Daddy. Play me like a bass. And if you're really good, I know that you'll play me. Like your bass, like your bass, like your bass, like your bass. Won't you play me, Daddy, like your bass? Yes. Well, I was born an original sinner. I was born from original sin. And if I had $1 to my chin. When I was 6 years old, I saw a black woman dressed in nothing but a banana skirt. And I said, "Oh, Mommy, she's showing her goodies." And Mommy said, "No, that's art." And right then and there, I knew I wanted to art. And I wanted to art like Josephine Baker, not just because she was in a banana skirt, because I found out later on she was a spy. And raised the whole rainbow nation. I said, yeah, I want to art like that, where it means something to the whole world. I want to art like Gwendolyn Brooks, who decides to write a little book, and next thing you know, becomes the first black person to win a Pulitzer Prize. I want to art like Toni Morrison, who decides that there's this little itty place that just needs to have a story told, and sure enough, a Nobel Prize comes up, and I said, yeah, I want to art. And I want to art like Annie Lennox, who could be outrageous and wonderful and have a voice that made you think she was black, not because she was and not because she was trying, but just because she had so much soul, and that's what we associate with our people. I wanted to art like all these women who had arted like Cher, and people look at me like, say, Cher? I said, yeah, baby, because I saw her riding a horse in full regalia, calling out she was a half-breed. And though I'm not a half-breed, I looked like one, and people treated me like one, and I said, I want to art like Cher. And if I had her body, I'd wear nothing too. But I don't, so I wear this. But what I'm saying is, I art. And I art. And I art as well as I can, and though it may not be the art that you like, I don't give a damn, because I was told, so what, by another brother who arted. And I said, yeah, baby, I'm gonna be my own banana skirt, and I'm gonna shake it until it's broke. And when I shake it, I'm bringing up everybody else in the rear, because we're gonna art like all these women who brought a world together and made us scream. So we have Brandon D. Johnson, who's next on the list. Again, he rolled up in It's Your Mug and changed our lives. And hopefully, we changed his.
Hello. Blues in my head as you tap, tap, tap on my leg. That wang dang doodle battle hymn to the walking dead. We talking about calling Willie Dixon back for another round of MASH from the afterlife. Passion licks the haunted hearts of disciples. Muses call them to mountaintops unknown to map makers. Shango's concussive bolts, the melodies of ancients demand answers heard in rat-tat-tat rim shots. Cymbals ring in rhythm, 8 crystal slivers of time. Muted, bleat dilly-deet doo-wahs punctuate Gabriel's counterpoint wearing shades, the color of greens in a black kitchen, chitlins and Tabasco on the side. Now you know, ain't nothing hotter than a July juke joint at midnight. The band rolls before sunrise from Keep on a Runnin' Mississippi, escaping in backfiring buses from hate's nights in bleached bone death sheets. They light fires in the distance, illuminating mutual fear, but we just kick the first set and forget about it. Smoke and needles kill the soul's gnawing, betray choices made, Sundays easing into stormy Mondays, and Tuesdays just as bad. These gods offer pastel tones lined with syncopation. They tie strings to arms and marionettes dance with legbas chuckle and chant, holy rollin' to the almighty beat. Now they say that bebop could be a schizophrenic's cry for help. Reality chopped into tiny pieces, fed back to the soul like Morse code messages from leaking life rafts. Shepherds blow ram's horns to the flock, with eyes closed, singing back memories, reminders. You did not choose this place, and you will never be forgiven for staying. After a lot of edits, that's what came out from our work at It's Your Mug. It's a newer piece. My sister-in-law and I have a game when we play a game about certain things that shouldn't be done, and certain rules come out. How you get cut. Shuffle badly, shuffle funny. Fumble while shuffling. Drop a card, drop the deck, drop bad jokes. Look in someone's hand, be suspected of the same. Bet badly, bluff poorly. Bluff the wrong dude. Talk too much. Ask questions, any question. Get loud on somebody. Look at a player's woman. Talk to a player's woman. Talk to a player's woman about the player. Shake the table. Knock over the table. Get crumbs on the table. Win a lot too soon. Win way too often. Win and get up before others try to win back their money. Because you know now you think you're a bad boy. Put the whole pot in your pocket. Pimp out the door, grinning like you're the man. When you know, when you started, you didn't have a pot to pee in. Gone. Since you've been gone, old habits line my borders like mercenaries. I hide under blankets, hoping you come back before they burn my health to the ground. I draw pictures of you with cut fingers. Images slip away wearing red dresses, telling men secrets that was once only for me. I can't read newspapers because every page says something about you. Blank spaces where my name used to be. Little kids won't come to me. They see your ghost in my eyes. Since you've been gone, I let the phone ring because I'd lose my mind if you weren't one on the line. My clothes are all the wrong colors. None of them fit anymore. Daydreams show your backside swaying from me. I try to play my records, but they sound like one long scratch. I hack your name into the door, counting the days since you walked out. I'm scared to be on the street, 'cause cops stop men for looking like this. Thank you. And next up, wordsmith herself, Toni Blackman.
I am an invisible woman. Not because people refuse to see me, they know I am here, but it's as if my womanness detracts from my existence, my presence too often mistaken for absence. I am an invisible woman whose words don't flow fast enough, whose beats just aren't fat enough, whose contribution goes unseen. They know I'm here because I was there. See, I rock the mic as he did. I spit rhymes as he did. I bore hip-hop as he did. We nurtured it. I am an invisible woman. I am an invisible woman. I may not be seen, but I'll be damned if I won't be heard. So I started out with that piece because I just remembered I wrote it at It's Your Mug. And I had just started, we decided what we were going to start around the same time, and so we planned the dates so they wouldn't conflict. And there was the poetry event, and then I started this event called Freestyle Union Cypher Workshop. And so I was rhyming a lot, and I was like, okay, how can I make a hip-hop poem? So Toni Asante Lightfoot brought out the hip-hop feminist in me. And now we're going to go to my other love, which is the blues. This piece was written for Kelly Bell's album. Kelly Bell's a blues artist out of Baltimore. And he had elder blues artists who were having trouble with the fact that he was calling his music fat blues, and he was incorporating hip-hop and other genres into his blues. And so he asked me to write a piece called The Pain, and that referenced the blues, and to let the elders know that he knows what the blues is. My life, a never-ending blues song, bears an uncanny resemblance to the face of God. My mama's pain-filled screams echo in the halls of eternity. For my birth was not my beginning, but the black human continuum, kicking fiercely, fighting ferociously, fearlessly, belting out the blues. Fat and as long as forever. The waters may be muddy, the wolf may howl, but the pain is king. BB King, BB boy, and fat. Ring my bell. It's your mug, just so I can feel the pain. Bluesicians of the world, unite. Do right, let the pain lead you to the lightning. Hopkins would say it's a sin to diss one's own kin. Fat blues, delivering friendly neighborhood grooves to your doorstep. Blues as brown as Ruth. See, I am a witness. I am a witness because Big Mama Thornton's hound dogs bark during my pain-filled prayers. So don't ask me why I like my blues fat. Ring my bell. It's your mug, just so I can feel the pain. Yeah, I need you to place my blues upon the pulpit. Pass on particularly powerful poetic profundities to the next generation. And I want all of you to join us at It's Your Mug in this cosmic prayer. Bow your heads and let us solemnly swear, oh great one, greater and bluer than you and I promise to perpetually put forth the pain, to bring the pain so fat and so clear that fat blues shall blare through the solar system, rising and setting like the sun, bearing fruit like the trees, giving birth to loud, pain-filled screams that echo in the halls of eternity, translucent and clear. Fat blues is here. Ring my bell. It's your mug, just so I can feel the pain. Next to the stage, thank you, audience, Ernesto.
after that. Always the hard things. Okay. This is slow march. A young man's poem, Ekundayo. In the picture, your head tilts to the right, your hair cowries coiled into a crown. Your smile is a thin moon transiting wax and wane. A denim shirt unveils a dress worth several of my paychecks. You stole it, even though you're a rich girl. The neckline plunges, reveals the swell of left breast over my best deck of cards, shuffling through fingers, calloused from wrestling catgut into hip-hop jazz. The 7 of spades slices between the 6 of hearts and its red-breasted king. A man who loves assiduously shall be guillotined by grief. But you stare into the camera, away from the sleight of your hands. This is the night after wine trapped us in its amber, and you asked me to make your home my habitation. The day I sipped the salt from your tears and named you Ekundayo, weep no more in Yoruba. A week after you snipped my hair as I laughed, saying, now you will never be free of me. This photograph is the gift of a stranger who remembers the days when we rubbed and made sparks. Staring at it, I fix my reasons for leaving you. Defying your power, remembering the haints trying to whip me back to your door. Looking at the picture, I call up the prophecy of the shuffle and remember, all these years, you still have my hair. An older man's poem. When you have children and you are of color, there are things you must teach them. This is called dirty work or the talk, and it's for whoever. I have no idea. The tempo changes. Light fades in the eyes, each word catching the June bug in him, pulling the legs off. You say it best you can, way it was said to you the day the bird song got knocked out of you. Plus, the kid wants to hear this about as much as you did. You can tell he stopped listening, so you get it together again, start over again, or walking too fast, or things in your hands, or hands in your pockets, or hoods on your head, or being in stores, or being in corners, or being alone, or doing anything. And he's not trying to hear this about as much as you were not trying to hear this. So you talk about Papa, you talk about Pa, you talk about Daddy X, plus Daddy Y, plus Daddy Z, about Uncle A, about Uncle B, even Auntie D, plus all the cousins, almost cousins, cousins you think were cousins. And you hope you still have it straight as it was told to you. Plus, now he thinks you're a big bad fake because you've always told him to fight. So you start backwards all over, or being loud, or being quiet, or. You try to remain calm when the eye rolling starts. You start all over again. Or talking too smart. Or not saying anything at all, plus all the things never to be said, plus stop when ordered, plus do not run, plus do not resist, plus no matter what, ever resist. Plus he can't believe you're saying any of this. You breathe through this as he cocks his head like you cocked yours. You can hear him thinking, oh man, that's not my world. Plus, you've got to breathe. You've got to knock it out of him. So you shock him by shaking him, and you shake him, and you shake him. You shake your son and you tell him again, or. Plus he smirks, so what? They just gonna kill me, and you must breathe. Shut up, sit down, start over. Shut up, sit down, start over, breathe. Stare at his cocky June bug plus smug bird song. Now you start in again until you bring your son to his knees. Thank you. Next up, Twain Dooley.
All right. Ooh, my turn. I was enjoying myself. And then they said, I'm going to come up here. All right, a little break from all the good poetry you've been hearing. Mug, it's your mug regular, Willie Ascari. Among other things, he's been known to say you got to give people their flowers while they're still alive. So in that spirit, this piece is for William Earl Collins, better known as Bootsy. Words are too pedestrian to wiggle and swim with the fantasmic extravaganza that is your space base. Still, they are all I have, and I aspire to spin dreams with the full palette that only your four strings can create. I'm saying, I want to stretch out like your rubber band. Bootsy, I say Bootsy, you's a bad man. Bad like Boone's Farm in the basement and under blue lights. Better yet, June bugs on the blue-black backdrop of summer nights while we all sat on the front step pontificating on silliness and the Pinocchio theory. And here you come, sliding across the sky like some sort of star who was no longer can be contained by his own solar system. Glory be, you godson of the Godfather. Now everybody knows even the hardest working man in show business needs a rhythm section. And brother, you is the one. Dig how you slap, pluck, thumped on the one. Taught us to freak, fly on the one. We would get weird work, worship the one. 8765432 Nation under a groove. Let your bass swing low, brother. Take us up to the mothership, you rhinestone rock star, monster of a doll, baby. Bootzilla! Dude, you's groovier than when Ursula tongue-kissed Vernon right in the middle of our 5th grade class when the teacher went to mimeograph some busy work. Casper, no funkier tear has ever fallen than when you wept. Good night, Eddie. No funketeer has ever shook so many pillars of the genre. You, blacknificent bundle of funk. You, spangled harbinger of groove. You, Hollywood player with bass lines heavier than Ohio thighs, with stars on your eyes and stars at your fingertips, and a grin like you done smuggled the secrets of intergalactic funkmanship down here to us in this lowly universe. William, I dig jazz, and I'm down with hip-hop, but if ever I was stranded on some distant planet, I'd rather be with you. May we never suffer the munchies for your funk too long. May you forever twinkle, twinkle on a song. Someday we will all fly away or simply vanish in our sleep. But whatsoever the dance, Bootsy, may your bass strings forever vibrate with the laughter of the universe. I know, right? I forgot how good it feels to perform with these guys. All right. We're going to keep it moving, though. I like to call myself the funk poet, but the truth is my heroes were far braver than me. So I had to write this piece to remind myself to be brave. It goes, Dictionary.com defines phobia as an irrational fear. I'm here to tell you that definition is as redundant as time clock. Fear is always irrational. Dig it. Xenophobia, fear of warrior princesses, arachnophobia, fear of large breasts. Fear, I suppose, is one of those evolutionary thingies, like a spleen. This one kept us out of the mouths of saber-toothed tigers, but today we have nothing to fear but people who are afraid of stuff. People who shoot first and ask questions never. People who would bury the light because shadows creep them out. Fear doesn't adhere to logic. Arachnophobia, fear of Middle Eastern countries. Claustrophobia, the fear of fat magical elves coming down the chimney. For weeks, one autumn, I walked every day past a pink flamingo tied to a telephone pole, its one straight leg pointing to a herd of other stuffed animals and plants. This was one of those makeshift street-side shrines. This one was for Sonny. Sonny was a co-worker who was murdered by the Beltway sniper. Each day, getting to work meant walking over the very spot where Sonny's body crumpled and bled, where only moments before it stood unafraid, unaware of the death that stalked him. And I often wonder if the rest of us continued to go to work every day because we were more afraid of losing our jobs than getting shot. The truth is, Twain, you were never safe, not when you lived in the hood, not when you got hit by that drunk driver, not when you joined the military. You weren't safe, not because you moved to the suburbs, not because you put on a condom, not because you got a desk job where Sonny worked. Fear doesn't make sense. Negrophobia, the fear of swollen leg joints. And it's not like I would never recommend that you run butt naked through Barry Farms screaming FDC, gentrification forever. But it's time that you threw caution to the wind, even if it remains tied to a kite string. Better yet, if you really want to take flight, be the kite. No, forget that. Be the wind. Everything else is painting yourself into a dark little corner where creepy, crawly things live, like spiders. The fear of spiders is called, I don't remember, but that's not important. What's important is to remember that fear is silly. Homophobia, the fear of staying home. Necrophobia, the fear of necks. Or maybe the fear of death, which is really silly because life is, as life has always been, far less predictable than a time clock. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, next on the mic, the incomparable dancer, actor, poet, artist, Holly Bass. One word.
Oh, man, this is amazing. Amazing. Yeah, so I can't believe we've been doing this for 20 years. I was 7 years old when this started. So I don't know about the rest of those folks, but so I thought in the spirit of an anniversary reunion, I would do something old and something new. So my first poem is called Black Broadway. I used to have this poem called California. If you went to the mug, you remember this poem I did called California. California Highway. Well, after I'd been in DC for a while, I thought, why don't I take that same rhythm and do a U Street poem? So that's what we're gonna do right now. So BT, if I can get a walking bass line, like ba-dum, bum, bum. Yeah. Black Broadway. I was walking down this lovely street called U, also known as Black Broadway, self-proclaimed world's most jazziful byway, checking out the parties as the music slips under my skin.
This road, so black and beautiful, sidewalks wide make it easy for hips to glide gracefully as the brothers sweetly croon to the tune of Moody's mood. Can I go, can I go, can I go? Shorty, you are the one who makes me lose my control. Well, it's easy to dream when you're feeling the scene. A little jazz and go-go, jazz and go-go, jazz and go-go on U Street. Yeah, it's easy to dream when you're feeling the scene. A little sardines and pork and beans. Give it to me. Sardines and pork and beans. See, some things change, some things stay the same. Mangoes is gin, Coffee House is gone, but Ben's Chili Bowl and the Lincoln still stand strong. Duke Ellington became a condo. The Langston Room is still pays homage though, and the Howard Theater carries on with the jazz and go-go, jazz and go-go, jazz and go-go on U Street. A little jazz and go-go, jazz and go-go, jazz and go-go. Sunny days, chasing the clouds away. Friendly poets where we used to play. Can you tell me how to get to U Street? How to get to U Street? So I'm trying to remember, who was it that said everybody needed to have a jazz poem or a Miles Davis poem? Daryl Stover. Daryl Stover used to say, you're not a real poet if you don't have a jazz poem. So I'm going to split the difference between Twain's funk poem to Bootsy, and I know Renegade's about to do a Miles Davis poem, and I'm going to do a Betty Davis poem. Not the actress. Not the actress. The ex-wife of Miles. This poem is called Sound System, and we're going to get a little funky right now. It has a epigraph. Aretha Franklin is a singer. I consider myself more of a projector. I'm into sound. Betty Davis, 1975. Betty steps to the mic, launches into sound. The device can't handle her full-grown woman moans. The mic politely lowers its head, but she grabs it by the neck, tears it from the stand. She drops low, knees spread wide, cord dangling between her legs. She doesn't care who sees. Screams, I don't want to love you. Her lips halo the head, pulsing sound hurtles down into the wire mesh, snakes through the trembling cord, emerging out the other side, amplified. The mic is terrified and ecstatic. Right now, she could easily swallow it whole, take it into her mouth, python-like. Let the mic amplify her womb. Let the mic slip down her love canal, a newborn sound, amniotic and complete. She kisses its tangled head, coos, baby, baby. There's a mess on the floor, blood and sweat and something unnamed. She reaches down, fingers the cord, gives a good hard tug, then cuts it with her teeth. The mic, exhausted, drops between her breasts, suckling sound that leaks from her twisting nipples, stereo dials turned high as they can go. The air has left the room. The light got up and walked out 3 hours ago. In the corner, a blown speaker hisses staccato Morse code. Is this music? Music? A hush falls over the room. The floor is still a mess. For the first time, the mic knows what it feels like to be alive and deeply loved. There is no applause. And next to the open mic, Joel Diaz Porter, better known as DJ Renegade.
Oh, yeah, party people in the place to be. You know, there was a time on U Street where you could read, 3-4 nights of the week? You had Kaffa House, you had State of the Union, the Vagabond reading, you had Mangoes. It was truly a golden age. Now I live in Atlantic City, New Jersey, where I occasionally engage in the game of poker. This poem is named after Charles Bukowski, famous for many things, writer, drunk, degenerate gambler. Of course, I'm none of those things. The Bukowski in you. When the last pile of chips gets shipped the other way, when your wallet gapes like the mouth of a two-coated man prone on a park bench, what else is there to do but stagger out and return to the shadows of an empty womb, then curl up like the last macaroni stuck on a paper plate? You sense even the women cleaning under the tables and dumping the trash's last odors wouldn't sweep you into their dusty pans. The red deck, the blue deck, the shuffle machine, they all make you feel like the darkness under the dealer's manicured nails. His Rolex stopped to watch. Damn, 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 everything you touch stutters. You can't remember what singing sounded like before the ace of hearts punctured your last lung. You can't feel your buddy tapping your shoulder saying, "How much did you lose?" You remember the elevator ride to your room, 39 floors of sunk stomachs before the white scowl of a towel spread across the bathroom floor. Suppose you were nothing but a but a hand towel in a $49 motel. Suppose you lived to lick beads of brightness from a working girl's back, but all you had was parched lips and a swollen tongue. That's why whiskey clings to the bottle. Slight burn in the beginning, then oak smooth and polished as an expensive casket. That's why when the last card turns, whatever you hear sounds like a bullet. More so if you digging in moist earth. Even more so if you're not a gardener or a man in a straw hat wanding the beach for beeps. You're addicted to the dance of the blue deck, but also to the way the red deck parts like a pair of painted lips. You're addicted to knowing that even a gypsy psychic can't find your card first, no matter how far she follows a palm's rugged grooves like wood grain. You're addicted to knowing the cards love no one but the last hands to hold them. Is there anything sexier than the way desperation's dress hugs her hips? Anything sexier than putting it all in and having the moment Morse code through your veins? That's why you return. Why you tease your chair to the table's edge and post a blind bet. That's why you peel the corner of your hole cards like they're prosperity's last pair of good panties. For GS, only because it was a Thursday, which is her Monday, and she was walking as though carrying something heavy, albeit not in her hands, and I thought I heard her sigh and recalled Lonnie, who you might not know. Not Lonnie, who was always pawning his wedding band so he could feed the penny slots, or Lonnie from the hill, who always seemed to be half a slice short of a sandwich, but Lonnie from Lonnie's Lament. And here she cocks her head and wrinkles her nose, saying, who? Because whatever blew Coltrane's rain so sideways inspired him to put a saxophone between his lips and blaze a lamentation which matches her Monday motion. A wistful grace with piano lines almost lengthy as her legs and a bass line that plunges like her hair when she combs it into a black Niagara, which she doesn't know makes me wish I could spend the rest of my days naked and trembling in a wooden barrel, falling forever through its obsidian mist. Now, subterranean means underground, deep, profound. And wasn't Miles one deep brother? Miles deep as a mine shaft, decrescended unto the mother lobe, blowing blue undersongs. Miles on tenor trumpet, 10, 11 levels deeper than the next cat, painting all up under the canvas, making it bleed all blues out the other side, blowing subterranean solos, underground rhythmic resistance. Miles burrowing under their skin. Miles, the son of a dentist, doing root work with a hoodoo horn hollering, but it'll be about toast. He's Petey Wheatstraw, Satchmo's son-in-law, a signifying junkie, jumping cold turkey out the lion's mouth. He shined below the deck of the Titanic, bluing up the boilers. See, Miles could blue like bird and freight like train, early like bird and night like train, wing like bird and rail like train, rumbling underground. Now, night color is blacker than a million miles of fresh asphalt. And wasn't Miles a deep black brother? Black and fluid as floating smoke. Black as the sky around midnight. Black as a tire turning for miles ahead. A black kettle stewing a bitch's brew. Miles was so black he was kinda blue. Miles slick as black ice, cool as black snow, sweet as black cherries on the downbeat like a blackjack. A blackjack hammer, blackjack Johnson, blackjack of all trumpeting trades. Miles, the jack of spades, was ace because he played night colors. Like deep black, triple black, shiny black, cinder black, ashy black, quarter black, multi make it black, all shades of Miles, shifting harmonic gears in a chromatic Ferrari, blowing blue moods with his black turn to the audience, speaking coolly in the colors of night. Magi or priests, spell-wielding wizards. Miles was a deep black brother. Magus, ass miners of the metronome. Miles is secular, they say. But Miles, we know you, sportsman. You a soloing sorcerer with ESP. Lord have mercy, you Reverend Miles, testifying from the book of the blues, blowing muted magic as chapter and verse, making a joyful noise unto the Lord. Anybody hip enough dig the scene. You Magi Miles with crazy styles, even sported a tutu. Miles, 1.6 sacred clicks are cool, 5,280 feet on the East St. Boogie. Moody as any monk, you alive and evil, but in a silent way. Your subtle hands cast milestones through the stained glass traditions of jazz. Miles, oh, made us wade through that water, holy, dark, and deep, with miles to go before we sleep, with miles to go before we sleep. Wow, you blink your eyes and just like that, 20 years go by. I'd like to take the time to thank all of you for coming out. Give yourselves a round of applause for being a great audience. And at this time, I'd like to call up my compatriots in the word.
And of course, we have to give it up again for the band. B.T. Richardson on bass and Daruba Kenyatte on drums. All right, here we go. Twain, you're over here. Right here. You have your mic? So the thing about It's Your Mug is that we used to always do like little special kind of programming because we felt like we were special kind of poets. Because we really loved each other. Like, if you notice, we love each other's poems. We were singing and saying each other's works because we really do dig like each other's works. We loved each other so much that we put together a book that's back there. And we have it on sale tonight, and so it's a nice little anthology. All of the poets on stage represented, plus another like 20-something poets.
How much is it?
How much is it?
How much is it?
Only $12?
Only $12.
It's a bargain. Go, please, help us. Like, have fun, and then you'll read it, and you can even teach it to your family and your friends, and a lot of funk business going on. Of course, you're going to be missing the band, but here we go. We're going to end out with a little send-off. And so we used to love to like just hang out and do what we call drive-by. So we're going to do like kind of a drive-by moment where we just speak a little bit on the memories of It's Your Mug or maybe do a little piece. So here I go. 20 years ago, February 1st, I walked up and said, we got a flyer. Poetry reading, come on out. Who knew? 20 years later, the Kennedy Center and you.
Well, I still remember my first walk down P Street, the cobblestones beneath my feet, and this little cafe packed to the brim with poets. And I was embraced by their words. I was embraced by Chocolate City, California me, a thing of beauty. It's your mug.
I had 12 poems to my name. I read 7 that night. I knew I was gonna have to write and write and write, and I knew somebody was gonna edit.
That's right.
But it was good.
It was good.
I got one question for y'all.
What's that?
You down with OPP?
Yeah, UPP.
You down with OPP?
Down with OPP?
Of course, this your mug. OPP stood for
Other people's poetry.
We had one set. What was that? The second Tuesday of every month, you had to show up and you had to read a poem that you didn't write.
First time I heard Etheridge Knight.
Do you remember when we banned love poems?
Every January, no love poems, because Lord knows we were going to hear them in February.
And that inevitable brother walking up to his sister with a rose.
I remember one icy Tuesday. I showed up fully expecting to sit there with my coffee and my Danish, and nobody would be there. And the room was more packed than this room is currently. It was our church.
No doubt.
Amen. Amen.
I remember one out. The brother on the stairs yelling out, I ain't Kenny Carroll and Kenny Carroll ain't me.
We miss Daryl Stover.
I remember catching the G2 bus because my car once again had a boot on it. Thank you, DC.
But no matter what, we came. Came snow, came hail, came rain, came hot. And it came hot. August nights up in It's Your Mug was a sweat factory. You would have thought we were doing Bikram yoga before it was invented, honey. We were there, though. And because we were there, and because if I got tired of your sorry poems and you had to come to Thursday night workshop, because we decided to love poetry, and because we decided to love you, we still here. 20 years later.
Yeah, 20.
After this event, if you want to come by and have a drink, we're going to be at Gin on 14th Street between U and V. And it's owned by
Mangoes.
Chris Willoughby, who took over the reading before it became It's Your Mug, and of course, after at Mangoes. We love you. If we didn't, we wouldn't do this crap all the time.
Dig it.
So we love you, we love poetry.
We
Look
love
into
you.
the eyes and you can see. We love you and we love
Love
poetry.
poetry.
Look into our eyes and can't you see? We love you
And we love poetry.
Look into our eyes and you can't see what? 20 years.
20 years, 20 years, and we here.
Who thought 20 years would look this good? Who thought we'd be alive? Knock on wood. Yeah, alive and we breathing. Yes, I said Holly's still teething. Look at that baby face in the place. DJ Renegade, not spinning on tables, but he's spinning up words and tales, all fables. Is Twain on the drums. No, I mean the drums for fun. I mean the funk poets doing what he do. Come on, Twain, yeah, stepping right through what? It's like the mug that he drinks from. It's like the coffee and he's in the, oh, I got a DJ and he's wickedy. Oh!
That's what DJs do.
That's what he did. That's what
We
they
used to have
do.
the freestyle union up in the mug.
Dig it.
Because Lord knows I tried to be a rhymer, but I couldn't do it, but I love to hear it.
Yes.
We can do it all.
Tony, one night didn't you turn out the lights and have the Dark Room Collective up in the mug?
The Dark Room Collective and the New Eureka Poets, baby. We'd bring you in if we didn't feel like we had a good enough roster ourselves.
New Eurekan said, this is a tough room.
Because we would work you out and make you think and make you come with your best game.
DC.
Because we DC, and that's how we roll.
DC.
To quote my mama.
DC. Wow.
Can we have a haiku break?
It's yo.
Can we have a haiku break?
Do a haiku.
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 Lighthouse beacon. The burnt orange of her lips through the fog.
Ooh.
Ooh, okay. How about this off the dome? I am amazed I didn't cuss once.
Remember this one? Lollipop Blues. He used to lick my face. I thought it cute. To him, I was a sucker.
Man burns ant with match. Did not understand his deed. Then lightning struck him.
Sinryu. I know a woman so afraid of fat, she won't even grease her scalp.
Ooh.
If grass is greener on the other side, must be more manure there too.
I quit. Loving you felt like a job with no vacation, no benefits, no perks. Please accept this letter of resignation.
A drive-by. I'm the man your mother warned you about. But there was only one way for her to know.
And before you go, don't forget, jazz is the way brown sugar would sound if you sprinkled some in your ear.
Hope I am to you what jazz is to poetry, ordained companions.
I tried to write a poem about your eyes, but you kept staring at me.
Okay. The most edited poem I've ever written is What I Owe You.
All right, once again, we'd like to thank all of you for coming out. It's been real.
Thank you all.
Thank
See you
you.
in
Books are in the
20
back. Books are in the back. Books are in the back. Oh, pictures.
Eric
Cheers.
Antonio.
Thank you, Eric Antonio.
Eric.
Oh, yes, Millionaire Julie. Hey, Davis, can you come on up since you did the mock book with us? Eric Antonio, take your picture, baby.
Come on, man. Come on, Aaron.
You put up those beautiful pictures.
Mr. Vagabond.
Y'all better hurry up. We had T-minus 45 seconds and counting.
Yeah, we about to get put out this joint, so.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody. See you at Jen. Good night.
Buy a book.
And buy a book.
Only